Hi everyone, welcome to my camper van. As you'll see, there's an electric fold out step and it has an awning as well. It's even got the built-in fly screens, so when it's very mozzie or midgy up in Scotland, we can keep the beasties out. So as we step inside, we have the cab area with two captain's chairs, both swivel round so we can access the dinette. There's satellite navigation, which is really good. We don't have steering wheel controls, but we don't really need those. One advantage of the sat nav as well is that if you push the cam button there, you also get the rear camera switch on, so you can actually see behind while you're driving, as well as when you're reversing. It automatically engages when you're reversing, but it's a nice feature sometimes to switch on when you're driving. The cab area also has remiss blinds fitted to the side windows and the front windshield, and when you close the two at the front windshield, as you'll know, there's a magnetic strip that holds the two together. They're really quite good at keeping the daylight out. Not so much condensation, so we tend to use a throw behind the seats, and that does a better job. Above the cab area there's some storage, which we just keep the throw for keeping out the condensation, and some spare bedding, etc. We've also got a roof light above the dinette, and this also has built-in fly screens one way or a blind the other way, and of course the roof vent opens. So the front dinette is perfectly adequate for our needs are. There's two belted seats, so if somebody else comes with us, that's perfectly legal. There's a fold-out table, and if you pull out some additional supports, then the table opens out and all's inside. It's quite neat. The side windows are double glazed, and they also feature the built-in fly screens and the remiss blinds. There's also a 12-volt socket and a main socket for the table. Now our van doesn't have an inverter, so unfortunately anything that's mains powered can only be powered when you're on hookup, but I don't think that's such a big deal for us, to be honest. I think we intend to run most things off the 12 volts. We do in fact have a solar panel supplying our two leisure batteries, so in total we have just under 200 ampere hours, and even though it's a dull day today, you'll see there the leisure batteries are fully charged, which is good. Even the vehicle battery is at 12.7 volts, so perfectly good for starting the vehicle, and there's been no use in this vehicle now for about 3 weeks due to Jennifer breaking her ankle, so plenty of charge there from the light that we do get at this time of year. The van is fitted with a Truma heating system for blowing warm air throughout, which is really effective. Ours isn't run off electric, it's gas only, but that suits our needs perfectly well. So in the kitchen area there's no oven or microwave, but we've bought our own microwave actually. It's pink, you may have seen it. It's down here. It's a very small microwave from Amazon. Actually just fits on top of the fridge there in that gap, so it's perfect. So if we are on hookup, we have a main socket there as well as a 12-volt socket, and the microwave, when we're not travelling, obviously can just sit on top of there. And like I say, if we're on hookup, we we have some microwave capabilities, but other than that we just have a 2-ring gas burner, excuse the crumbs, and we have a sink, and it's all perfectly very handy, and then 3 good storage drawers underneath. So in the top drawer we have another sneaky drawer, and there's your cutlery. Voila. This section at the top, this is just some isolating valves for the gas, just for when you're servicing or you just need to do something to shut the gas off in an emergency. So there's a handy little shelf here, I don't know if you've noticed it, but that simply lifts off, and we can actually put it at the side here for extra space. But it also, if we go to the other side of the fridge, it will also hook in there as well. So it's a really useful shelf. 3 possible positions. So here's the fridge. I think it's a 90-litre fridge. Features a freezer box, plenty of shelves, and storage in the door. Now, it only works on electric, does our fridge. It's 12 volts regardless, so even if you're on hookup it still works off 12 volts, and this means that you can leave the fridge on while you're travelling, which is a really useful feature. It also features a night mode, so it runs a little quieter in the night, because obviously you don't want to be kept awake by the fridge. Behind the dinette, incidentally, the Truma boiler is underneath the dinette seat, so it's tucked out of the way nicely. But over here we have a sliding door to the bathroom and a magnetic catch. So if we slide that all the way back, from the top here we have a roof light, which again has built-in blinds, fly screens. There's me in the mirror, hello. We have a bathroom cabinet, which is fairly useful. Nothing in there yet, apart from the toilet roll. Our sink is accessible by flicking a lever in there really, and then catching the sink. Sink falls down, the tap goes across, and this comes out as well, so it duplicates as a shower. Then when you're finished, you just lift the sink up, the water runs away down the back, clicks back in position. And then we have the toilet flush, the toilet. Don't need to explain the toilet too much. There's another bathroom mirror, and up here we have a pull down bar, which is a bit of a drying rail, so that's really good. Back of the van is our fixed bed. Now it's a good height from the floor. It does take a bit of climbing into, and we've got a step just for the job, but it also means there's quite a bit of storage area under there. As you see, we've got a spare wheel, we've got the bike, the folding bike Jennifer broke her ankle on. Let's not mention that again, eh? So yeah, the fixed bed is really good. We've got the mattress there that all folds up to one side, and this means that this bed then just lifts up, and with the use of this plastic clip, it just clips in and stays in position. So it means you've got some access through to the back of the van, so that when you're in a nice sunny place and the doors are open, the bike's not in the van, you can just walk out the back doors. So why the spare wheel? Well, our van didn't come with a spare wheel, it just came with a tyre inflation kit, and who likes those? I'd prefer to know that if I'm in the south of Spain and I get a puncture, then I have a spare wheel on board. So I looked at putting the wheel under the van, which is where it's supposed to go. However, it wasn't clear from the websites I was looking at which winch kit would fit which chassis. Apparently this van comes on 2 different chassis, so I didn't go there. I decided we've got space in the van, let's put it there. And this van It's probably all the Hymercars, but the Grand Canyon features some luggage eyes there that are on rails, so you can adjust those and they run right to the back of the van on both sides, and it just meant I could rope a wheel in the van and it wasn't going anywhere. So as far as I'm concerned, that's peace of mind. So the bed has springs. Now these little doohickeys are in fact plastic, but it's quite a clever design, and they've got springy plastic, and it does make the bed comfortable actually. So under this side we have a lift up section, and as well as a few tools, water fill kits, etc. Tucked away there in the corner is our freshwater tank, which holds 100 litres, fillable from the exterior. If we move that lever there, if we turn it anti-clockwise once, it drains most of the water out of the tank, leaving about 20 litres for the toilet. And then if we turn it twice to align the arrows, then it completely empties the tank. Quite a good feature. We've also got another main socket at the back of the van there. Storage. Well, there's quite a lot actually. At the front, above the dinette there, we've got a cupboard with a shelf. Got another cupboard which is quite deep. There's my Wi-Fi, external Wi-Fi to the external antenna. So we've always got Wi-Fi wherever we go. It's an active antenna, so there's a power unit for that. We've also got storage above the cooker and sink with some elastic holds in place. Coming along, even more storage, more storage, more storage, all the way around. And we've got a wardrobe. So in there I've put my fire blanket, and there's the pole for the awning. I'll just switch the lights on. So now there's lights in the wardrobe, and a few shelves, and then at the bottom we've got our electric fan heater if we're on hookup, and our TV. Not that we watch much TV, but yeah, quite good storage in this van. There's also drawers and cupboards in the garage area. Again, offering plenty of storage. There's also a bit of a storage area under the fridge. Put some foodstuffs, etc. There's also another roof light above the bed which opens, and this also has built-in blinds and fly screens. At the back of our van is our LPG storage. As you'll see, it's fitted with 2 gas lure bottles which are fillable from the exterior of the van. Saves swapping out colour gas bottles. And finally, the wastewater tank under the van holds 100 litres, and it's actually heated. If we look under the cupboard, under the dinette seat, there's a switch there, and that's actually a frost switch. Stop it freezing. Brilliant. Well, that's it for my brief van tour. If you've got any comments or questions, please leave them below and I'll get back to you. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.